is the Big O Show.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new 2025 Integra, $339 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty, welcome aboard. Good evening, good evening. I keep looking up because I've been for almost 5 years. This month, actually, June 14th, we celebrate our 5-year anniversary. And for 5 years, I've been looking up this way. And so I have to keep adjusting that it's here. And good evening. Not a good one. Not a bad one. I mean, listen. I'm not going to sit here and start panicking and, oh, my God, the world's coming to an end and the Panthers are going to lose the series. They didn't play well. But all that said, it took Edmonton overtime to win 4-3. Panthers did not play well there. They made mistakes. Two of the goals that Bob gave up, the first one, he makes 2 stops, and then there's a lucky bounce to the guy, and it was perfect. And obviously for Bob to get over and make that last part of the nope, didn't do it. And then there was another goal, the third goal that tied the game. He had 2 of his own guys in front of him. He had no shot at seeing, the slap shot. He had no idea, no way he could see it. They played sloppy. They committed errors, stupid mistake there. You give them the easy power play, and then their 2 best players connect for the game winner. And it was a game that was there. It was there, and that's and that's the way I'm gonna look at it. Panthers were off. They were kind of rusty, like they usually are when they have several days off. They just don't come out as sharp. They'll come out much sharper on Saturday night. I guarantee you that. They'll have a little bit more of an edge, and they'll be more comfortable. They've got a feel for what's going on. That seems to happen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really worried too much about it. See, here's like Silver Dom. See, like that guy doesn't know anything. Bob was fantastic tonight, dude. Absolutely fantastic tonight. They should have lost that game before that. Bob was the only reason you were still in it, by the way. But see, there are people like that like that Silver Dom. He doesn't really understand it. He probably doesn't really watch it. Bob was really good. The people around him weren't great. That's really what ended up happening. Like I told you, there were some mistakes. And in that last one, Barkov went over. They were too aggressive, and they left him wide open. And when you talk about their 2 best players, it just becomes, I disagree with that gentleman there. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but what am I going to tell you? Sam Bennett had 2 goals. Brad Marchand had a goal. Carter Verhaeghe with 2 assists. Nate Schmidt had 2 assists. It was really, really cool to see a lot of the things that happened today with the Florida Panthers in this game. And one of the things when they had that 4-on-3 and they got through it, a guy like Connor McDavid, okay? Think about this. A guy like Connor McDavid is so dangerous out there. And in that 4-on-3, they didn't score because Connor didn't have space. And one of his weapons was not being able to be used at that moment, which is speed. In the open ice, obviously, nobody stays with that kid. You know what I'm saying? And in that 4-on-3, I saw that that's one thing that at least you can hope with him, that it's not as bad, that if you can play some good defense, if you don't make mistakes, and the Panthers sometimes will make some mistakes. They'll take some chances. They're aggressive as hell. Look, man, we've got to live with the good with the bad. And we nobody here can act like snobs thinking that we're entitled to every victory and every Stanley Cup. Remember what's going on here right now tonight, okay? Understand what's going on. You have to understand psychologically everything the Panthers are tackling right now. One, the physical and mental endurance to get to your 3rd straight Stanley Cup. That's freaking amazing. To lose the first one and then come back and win it, amazing. Then, now that you're the champion and now you've gone 3 in a row and you're on your on the way to get to 3, you're getting everybody's best. I mean, because you are the shit, okay? That you are the godfathers right now of the NHL. The Panthers are the best team in the NHL, bar none. There's no discussion, no argument, no nothing. Then you're playing the team you beat last year. You beat a great team last year, and they are just as good or maybe even better, and they're back again. And they're pissed. And Edmonton's home. I mean, how much more do you want? And it took them freaking overtime to beat the Panthers. You feel me? You feel me? Okay. Relax. We know how this goes. The Panthers are a bunch that will wear on you. Okay. And if you notice, the first period, they got kind of outshot. And then the second period, the Panthers kind of put the clamps down a little bit. Third, they kind of let up a little bit. And then they started pressing a little bit more. And then the stupid penalty, and you put yourself in position, and the game is over. As the series goes on, the Panthers will wear these guys out. When you hear them talking here in game 1, well, hey, Edmonton is, ready for that fight. They won't be able to fight with the Panthers for 7. So these are things that I don't overreact right now for something like this. It's only 1 loss. Means nothing. I don't worry about 2 losses. I worry about if you start losing game 3 and 4, that's when we got a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because you're home. So just like in the Toronto series where they lost the first 2 games and then we had people panicking and all that, and they came back and won and took care of business. I'm not worried. Let's see how they come out in game 2 on Saturday, man. To me, I'm not worried whatsoever about this. I know that they're going to be able to, focus, and usually they know how to turn things around and kind of slow everything down. Don't forget, folks, we are here in overtime ourselves since we already had our morning show, and we'll be back tomorrow afternoon, okay? Like always, we'll be at Hialeah Park. You can, of course, support the platform by hitting the like button. Very important. You hit the like button, okay? You can also make a donation, Cash App or Venmo. You can use the QR codes at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And, of course, you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. and Chainlink and Solana too on Venmo, which is always a beautiful thing. We are always the crypto freaks here in the house. Hateful Steve, stupid penalties on Venmo. Thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo, and you are 1,000% right, Steve. They had stupid penalties, and that last one was you hit the puck out of your own, out of the ice in your own zone, and there you go. And the best two players for them on the ice screwed you. Steve also then sends in another Venmo. Thank you, sir. Said, reminded me a lot of last year game 1 where Edmonton played a lot better, but Florida found a way. That ended up screwing with Edmonton's head a bit. Definitely feel like game 2 is a must win because they ain't choking ass Toronto and we ain't great at home. Yeah, and again, took them overtime, 4-3. And they almost got out of this overtime. We were almost headed. I was going, wow, I'm going to be headed for a second overtime. I'm like, all right. Thank God that this is the day where I'm on late the next day at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and the voice can rest a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But, Steve, thank you for the Venmos, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation as always. Ralph the Ace, thank you, sir, for the love, for the super chat. That penalty was brutal. No one around him. 3-1 blown lead hurts. Bob played great. We'll be fine. See you Friday. Exactly. Yeah, it's Friday. That's right. Did I say Saturday? Friday. Yeah. I'll be at Metallica on Friday. I can't control that, my brothers and sisters, So I'll be jamming with Metallica and watching it on the phone. I will not be on Friday, unfortunately, because I'll be jamming. I'll be in Tampa for the weekend for Metallica Friday and Sunday. So, you got to enjoy life too, So I'm here tonight. I'm working it. But unfortunately, Friday, I will not be able to be there because I'll be rocking, So, and I'll be out in a hotel and stuff like that with the wife and priorities, folks. Okay, so game 2, there won't be any coverage. I'll be back for game 3. Game 3, then we'll take care of business and we'll get it done. Let's see. Tony Zag says Panthers played sloppy against Toronto and they put it together. They'll be fine. Exactly. That's where I'm not worried. Juan Rosa says my noisy neighbor thought my wife was screaming for her life. It's just me screaming like an effing bitch that my team is on top. He said, who the Heats? And I said, no. I replied, get back watching my game. The game was lost on the quick goal to begin the game. And then the soft second goal that Bob gave up. The second goal was, I wouldn't call that one. Wait, is the second goal the one that had the multiple rebounds? Or was that the first goal? No, you might be right on that second goal. That wasn't the one with the multiple rebounds the guy saved it twice. And then on the third one, it was kind of, I give Bob a break. Bob played great today, dude. He made so many freaking saves. You can't be absolutely perfect. The team has to do better on their own. They have to go out after and get more chances and play a little better in front of him, too. They didn't play as well in front of him, too. They cost him. They blocked him on one. They cost him a goal right there. If the defenders give him a lane, Bob at least is able to see the shooter, and they completely blocked Bob. And Bob had no shot at that goal. That was on them. So if your defenders do the right job and they're supposed to be covering it with some space, give them some lanes. You blocked them out completely and gave the lane all the way on the left side. And there goes the score. I thought that was bogus. I thought that was lazy, too, on top of all of that. Andres says, good evening, guys. We are gassed after 3 consecutive Cup final runs. That'll do it, too. Tough loss Get to the next one. Exactly. I don't know if they were gassed. They got outplayed today. That's all. I don't think that they were out of gas and they were too tired. They had plenty of days to rest. They do this all the time. When they have all these days off, they don't play sharp. This is not the first time when they come off several days where they don't play well. That's normally what they end up doing. And that's what you saw today. I think you'll see a much sharper game on Friday night. I guarantee you'll see a sharper game on Friday night. There's no doubt about it. That's been the DNA of this team, and they'll get the more tape on them. They'll figure things out. They'll slow some things down. They'll be fine. At the beginning OT, we had a chance to end it at the beginning. Perfect setup goal was wide on the open top shelf in the corner, but player couldn't find the puck and was sitting on the side of skate. Yeah. I mean, I think that was Verhaeghe, the one you're talking about. I think the one you're talking about, Brian, was Verhaeghe. It happened to Verhaeghe twice today, where he kind of had a shot and there was hesitation, and he might have waited a little too long to pull the trigger and got out of the position for it. You better wear your Panthers jersey at the concert. No shot. Too damn hot. I'm not wearing a Panthers jersey. I'm in the AC, dude. Okay, that's why I got my jersey on, my classic jersey on. All right, but no way. In fact, I'll probably be in a Metallica t-shirt. Is probably what I'll be at that Metallica show. I'll be the what do you call that? Oh God, what's that tacky word? Because that's what I deserve. Stereotypical concert head that goes to a U2 concert and you got a U2 shirt on. You kind of, because to me, at times I kind of treat it like a sporting event. You go to a Panthers game with a Panther jersey on, or you go to a Dolphins game with a Dolphins jersey on. Well, I'll go to a Metallica concert with a Metallica jersey from a couple tours back or whatever it was, or the last tour or something like that. That's what I'll do. And it's kind of like a sporting event being at a concert. That's what non-concert heads don't understand. So, same thing, very predictable, some of us. Let's see what else. They got outshot 20-5 from the beginning of the third till around the 7th minute. Yeah, they in the second they controlled it. In the first they got outshot, and on the back end they got outshot. You are 1,000% right, sir. You are 1,000%. But again, this is normal for them. This is status quo overall. Okay, this is what normally happens with them. And by the way, we do thank Welt and Rayom, 954-966-4646. If you need lawyers that you can count on. Hurricane season just started, and the Florida laws favor the insurance companies, not us. So Welt and Rayom has taken care of a bunch of our listeners in the last 5 years. They kicked Progressive's ass for us, so they can do it for you. And if you take the number down, 954-966-4646 for Welt and Rayom. And if something happens, damage, whatever, don't call the insurance companies. You call them, they send their adjusters, and then they call the insurance company. No headaches for you. Okay? No headaches for you. Welt and Rayom, 954-966-4646. In the Metallica mosh pit. Yeah, I'll be just outside. I'm on the field, but I'll be like, I'll be 30 deep, 35 deep away from the stage. My buddy, of course, who's Robert, who's a freaking nutbag, is inside the pit. Okay. But inside that pit, there isn't as much moshing because those people pay so much money to be inside that pit because he's a maniac. I cannot afford that. Those people usually aren't moshing that much. It's the people that are just outside in front of the stadium. In the first like after the first 3 or 4 rows of people standing, then you start moshing right there. The old man will not be moshing. No. I'll be rocking. All right. I don't know how many times I've seen Metallica, 12 times, 13 times, 14 times. I have no idea. A bunch of times, maybe even more than that. I've seen them like 6 or 7 times just in the last couple of years. It's crazy. I've been really lucky that they've had all these great shows lately. What else is it? It's been raining so much, you might need us. No, actually, it'll be clearing up on Friday. It's down to like a 15% chance or something like that in the evening, 20% chance. It's pretty much very little. So lucky. Got lucky, but you're right. It's been really brutal in Florida this week. We've been getting a lot of rain. We've been getting a lot of rain now. So I'm with you there. What about smoking the green leaf at the Metallica concert? I'm sure there's going to be plenty of that going on. You'll be able to smell it everywhere. Come join me if you want and throw cumulonimbus clouds at me. That'll be good. Maybe, maybe you can take me back to the days of the Hollywood Sportatorium when I would walk into a cumulonimbus cloud that was inside a building. And even if you didn't smoke, you walked away with secondhand smoke and you were pretty much, you probably took like 80,000 bong hits without even trying at the Hollywood Sportatorium. What else do we have here? That no-sec penalty was infuriating. Yes, it was catastrophically stupid is what it was. It's the only way to explain it. But again, it's one game. They went all the way to the end of the first overtime in order to lose. They've been so fantastic. I'm not going to ask them to be completely perfect about everything, dude. To me, that makes that just, and by the way, Edmonton's good. Okay. All right. Edmonton's good. Breaking news. Edmonton's good. Sam Bennett, by the way, most goals in a single postseason, 12. Pretty impressive. Okay, so congratulations to Sam Bennett. The Panthers are the first team in NHL history to score 50 road goals in a single playoff run. Okay, they lost tonight. Don't get blinded by the bullshit. Don't use the FUD. Don't have short-term memory. None of that. This team is special. They're playing a hell of a team. And tonight, you have to be a good professional fan and say, hey, man, our guys didn't play as well. Their guys played better. They were home. They had everything to play for. They were desperate. They got what they deserve. Our guys have got to play better. But are the Panthers out of this? Give me a break. Not worried. I'm not worried. I know that they can play a lot better. They can play a lot better. That's what counts, ladies and gentlemen. The rest is bullshit. We're not going to sit here and panic. This is not the Dolphins. Okay? This ain't the choking ass, dog ass Dolphins that can't even win a damn playoff game. These people win playoff games blind. They would all be on one skate and they'd all win a playoff game somewhere. Okay? These guys got balls. They've got guts. They've got character. They're never fazed by any of this shit. This isn't your current Heat roster now that has no stars or anything. This team is loaded with stars, proven players, proven championship, and now for the third time, they've proven they can get to the championship game. You know, the last time the Dolphins were like this, it was when I was 7 and 8 years old, half a century ago. Half a century ago. Half a century. The Miami Heat, 10 years ago, when they were like this. The Canes, 30 years ago. Actually, 30-something years ago, because it's kind of in the middle of the 80s into the early 90s, 91, or 83 to 91. That's where you won 4 championships in a very short time. So remember, big picture, this means nothing. If this was the Miami Heat, we can be crapping in our pants right now going, yeah, man, wow, the Heat had a chance here to take their upstart. They just got here. They're not better than that team. They needed this win, man. Now they're down 1-0. And I don't even know if they can win the 2 games when they come back home. This is not the Heat. That's what we would be saying. This is the Florida Panthers. We wouldn't be, if we were watching the Miami Dolphins, we'd say typical Miami Dolphins. Had the lead and they choked it away. That's not the way we look at this. A great team played another great team, and one of them didn't bring their A game and yet lost by a goal in late overtime. So what happens if the Panthers bring their A game? You got your answer there, right? So I get it. We're jaded sometimes, but we're not in Dolphin mode right now. We're not in Heat mode, and we're certainly not in Marlin mode. Okay? We're not with old broken ass Inter Miami now, too, as the old people are kind of struggling. That's not what you're seeing here with these guys. So I hope I can walk some of you off the ledge. And, and maybe some of you also really don't follow it, because if you go out and start telling everybody that Bob played like shit, that's kind of ignorant. It's really not fair. The people in front of him didn't play great. You could have easily lost that game a lot earlier. He had some amazing saves again. Okay? He's the one that was getting peppered. And he came through a whole bunch. When he didn't, it's because he was put at a disadvantage at one point or another most of the time. And that sucks. Shit happens. That's all. These guys don't know. They put Bob in a bad place. They didn't play well. They turned it over. They committed stupid penalties. They're all going to know it. This is not a team that you have to remind them what they didn't do. They're going to know exactly what they didn't do, and then they're going to go out and correct it. So I expect an A game on Friday, and if they bring an A game, then they're coming back 1-1. And I'm good with that. And you should be too. That should be a blessing for everybody out there. You go there, you go to Edmonton against a great team, and if you can sneak out of there 1-1, that's nothing to be embarrassed about. By the way, great stat, and we talk about it on the show all the time, right? That home ice doesn't mean anything. This is the first time since 2012. Okay, since 2000, other years, one of them has gotten there like this. This is the first time since 2012 that both teams did not have home ice all the way to the Stanley Cup. That's pretty cool. Okay, Edmonton and Florida both were on the road the entire Stanley Cup. This is the first time Edmonton has home ice. The Panthers are that's the other thing. Remember that list I gave you at the beginning? Okay. The Panthers not only made it for the third straight year to the finals, they made it also as a road team in every series. And now they're trying to win a back-to-back title against a team that is their equal. Okay. And they're on the road for it again. I mean, if that doesn't tell you they're not the Dolphins, they scored 50 road goals, something nobody's ever done in the NHL. Yeah, our Dolphins are they're real road warriors. Yeah, those wimps really do something on the road. This is a team that's got some balls. Okay? They might play with pucks, but they play with balls. Oh, I'm sorry. They might play with pucks, but they're carried by balls. Let's put it that way. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about this team. So get that attitude, going. Again, this isn't the Heat that have no hope. This isn't the Dolphins that are headed headed downhill and it's like a snowball that's just building. That's all it is. That's what you're getting. This team, enjoy this moment. Edmonton outplayed them, but with all that said, they can only score one more goal in late overtime. So for me, I'm not as impressed because our team did not play well. If they play well and lose, then I'm a little more disappointed. Here I've got it. I know why they lost. You know why they lost. It wasn't because they not given any effort. It wasn't because they're a bad team. It wasn't because they were outmatched. None of that. They didn't play well. They made stupid mistakes. That's all we can do. Big O, the Panthers coach, had 30 years of human coaching experience before the Dolphins coach held a damn clipboard. Doesn't matter. Dude, it's 40 years. McMillan, what are you talking about, bro? What did Nick Saban do? What did Jimmy Johnson do? You're probably not even old enough. Okay? Jimmy Johnson was a flat-out embarrassment in the playoffs. His teams would get their asses kicked here with the Dolphins. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Shula was a choking ass dog with Marino, dude. What are you talking about? They went against San Francisco and got embarrassed. What are you talking about? The greatest coach ever sucked as a GM and screwed up Marino's career. What are you talking about? In the early 90s, the Buffalo Bills made the Dolphins their bitch. The Dolphins felt like they were in a P. Diddy freakout in the early 90s. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Some of you got to watch it when you open your mouth. I got more depth, more perspective, more experience, and know more about South Florida sports than most of you ever even know. I probably forgot about South Florida sports and the history of it inside and out more than most of you, and I forgot about it, most of you. So when you talk shit, be careful. When you don't know something, don't open your mouth on this show, ever. Okay? You will get squashed. Guys looking at just McDoofus coaching here. For 40 years, nobody could hold a candle to Maurice. Not Don Shula, not Jimmy Johnson, not Parcells, nobody. And Parcells didn't coach, but whatever you want to call whatever he brought here. What are you talking about, dog? Okay? Don't even insult the Panthers by mentioning the Dolphins. The last 40 years, from Shula till now, dog shit. Dog shit. Dave Wannstedt, there you go. Second greatest coach of all time for the Dolphins. That's how pathetic this team has been. After the 70s, that's it. Nothing but upstart, overachieving, if anything you ever did. Because anything you ever succeeded, you were just overachieving, and whenever you got to a big stage, you were embarrassed. What are you talking about, dude? You're not old enough, I guess, to see the suffering of Dolphins in the biggest stages of all. Choking ass dogs, dude. They got nothing compared to the Panthers. Yeah, 62-7. That's how Marino's career ends. Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson is not worthy of polishing Paul Maurice's shoe right now. What he did in Dallas doesn't mean shit to me here. Okay? I'm not a Cowboy fan. All right? And he underachieved with the Canes. Should have won more. Only won one. Embarrassing in that Fiesta loss. So, Bob was not seeing the puck well tonight. Another guy, Ted, you also don't watch the game very well. Kane should have won 3-0 row. We should have played OU in the OB. Yeah, that's a whole other show. The only time the Dolphins were complete enough in my lifetime, not even 92, bro. They weren't complete in 92. They didn't have the right side of their line wasn't their left side of the line. They didn't have a dominant running game, and their defense was not top notch. Their defense was average at best. Wasn't anything special. That's why Buffalo. I'm still having nightmares from Thurman Thomas in the 300-yard game. Come on, man. You're just too young to know what complete is. Complete is back in the 70s, dude. The Dolphins have never been complete again. Back in the 70s, that was the last time they won at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. They've never done that again. They've never had two line of scrimmages that can win every single year. They had that in the 70s. Their D-line and their O-line dominated. That's why they went to 3 straight Super Bowls. And they won 2. Let's see, what else do we have going on in the chat board? Becoming a fan of the Dolphins at 11 years old back in 2000 from Toronto. Yeah, exactly. McMillan, you're a minor leaguer when it comes to info. Don't ever journey into Dolphin history here on this show. It won't end well for you. The last time the Dolphins were complete, 73. Exactly. 73, 74, 72. That's the way it goes. You know, we ejected Shula like an 80s cassette tape for Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, it was sad. We were desperate, and we still are desperate. We still act desperate. We're dying to win. We blow up everything. We're kind of like Knicks fans. We have a little bit of success, and we make it like, okay, let's go get the pots and pans, and let's go celebrate in the streets. We're just so terrible already at this point because we're so desperate, because we suffered for so long. And yet here we have a team, and this is what you got to look forward to now. This is what we got. A real team, the Panthers. Cats can't give up over. Yeah, no, they didn't. Was it boom, whatever? They didn't play well, dude. They got outplayed today, and they got what they deserved. That's all. Today, we tip our hats to the Edmonton Oilers. That's what we have to be, good fans today, and just understand our team did not play their best and lost. That's it. And you know that they'll bounce back on Friday. And I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock live from Hialeah Park. So please join us then. We'll be there. I don't know what guests we'll have. Oh, yes, we will have David Dork will be joining us. Okay, so we'll talk a little Panthers with him. He covers the Panthers every day. He's live in Edmonton. He'll join us tomorrow. So we'll talk to the Dorkster and have some fun with him. I appreciate all of you out there as always. Don't forget, you can make a donation on the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. We shall see you tomorrow. 3 o'clock, same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.